There have been 110 races ran in the Gen 7 or Next Gen car. 27 different drivers have won a race, so what I wanted to do today was look at those 27 drivers and see where those 110 races have gone. 8 different drivers have managed only one win in the Gen 7 car, so let's take a look at those guys, starting with Harrison Burton, the most recent driver to add himself to this list with his win at the 2024 Daytona Summer Race. Of course, he is not in the Cup Series this year, so it's unsure if he will add to this total, but he's on this list nonetheless. Next up is Shane Van Gisbergen, and of course he's driving the 88 car this year, but his win did not come in the number 88, it came in the number 91 car at the Chicago race in 2023. He is certainly a favorite at some of the road courses coming up, maybe even this weekend at Circuit of the Americas, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to add to this total this season. Another guy who got his one and only Gen 7 win at a road course is AJ Allmendinger, who won the 2023 Charlotte Roval race in the number 16. He is of course back in the Cup Series this year after dropping down to the Xfinity Series in 2024, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to add a win at one of the road courses this year, or if SVG is the new road course guy. Bubba Wallace has one win in the Gen 7 car, but it did not come in the number 23. He actually won in the 45 car at the Fall Kansas race in 2022. This, of course, was after Kurt Busch stepped out of the car, so they brought in Ty Gibbs to run the 45, but the 23 car didn't make the Owners' Playoffs, so Bubba Wallace took over the 45, and they actually had a pretty decent run in that year's Owners' Points. Up next we have Michael McDowell, who is now in the 71 car, but his win came in the 34 for Front Row Motorsports. He of course won the 2023 Indianapolis Road Course race, which was one of the only races that we have run in the Gen 7 car without stages. Of course they went back on that later that year by the time AJ Allmendinger won at the Roval. Thought it was something cool to mention nonetheless. Eric Jones' one win in the Gen 7 car came in the number 43 at the Fall Darlington race in 2022. Of course, back then the 43 was under the Petty GMS banner, it is now under the Legacy Motor Club banner, but it was the same number. Although not currently in the number 45 car, he did win in the 45, so I had to put that graphic on here. Kurt Busch won the 2022 Spring Kansas race in the number 45. It was the first win for 2311 in the Gen 7 car. It sucks the way that things ended for him at Pocono there, but he's one of the only old guard that can say they won in the Gen 7 car. And our final driver to only have one win is Brad Keselowski. He of course grabbed this at the Spring Darlington race last year. With the uptick in performance at RFK, I would expect Brad Keselowski to add another win or two to this total this season. Alright, so let's move to the 7 drivers who have managed 2 wins in the Gen 7 car. First up is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Both of his wins have come at drafting style tracks. He of course has the 2023 Daytona 500 and won the Fall Talladega race last season. Always a solid pick at a drafting style track, so wouldn't be surprised if he added another one to this list this season. Another Daytona 500 winner with 2 wins in the Gen 7 car, of course Cindric winning the 2022 Daytona 500, and followed that up with a win at Gateway last season. I think he's a step behind his 2 Penske teammates, but hey, he won Gateway last year, he could totally get another win like that this season. Daniel Suarez in the number 99 has managed 2 wins, the first coming at Sonoma in 2022. That was the first ever win for a Mexican-born driver in the NASCAR Cup Series, and of course he had that thrilling finish at Atlanta last season to add to his total. Despite driving the number 19 car this year, neither of Chase Briscoe's wins came under that number. Of course, both of his wins coming in the 14 car in the now defunct Stewart-Haas racing team. His first win came at the spring race in Phoenix in 2022, and of course that awesome finish at Darlington last fall that punched his ticket into the 2024 playoffs. Definitely see him grabbing a win in a Gibbs car this season and adding to this total. Austin Dillon in the 3 is another driver with 2 wins in the Gen 7 car, and both of these wins have come in the summer, the 2022 Summer Daytona race and the 2024 Richmond Summer race. Of course, there was a controversial finish in that Richmond race. He didn't get a playoff eligibility, but in the record book, he did win the Richmond race. That's why he's on here with 2 wins. Alex Bowman in the number 48 has also managed 2 wins, the first one coming at the Spring Las Vegas race in 2022, and of course that win at Chicago Road Course last summer. He's in a Hendrick car, so totally should be adding to this list at some point this season. Not currently in the number 4 but managed 2 wins in the number 4 car is Kevin Harvick. And they actually came in back-to-back weeks. He won the 2022 Michigan race and then followed that up winning the second race at Richmond. Got snake bitten a few times and didn't add to that list in 2023 before retiring at the end of the season, so he's not going to be adding to this total. Only one driver has 3 wins in the next-gen car, and it is Martin Truex Jr. All 3 of these wins came in the first half of the 2023 season, of course him winning Dover, Sonoma, and then New Hampshire. He is another driver that has retired, so it does not look likely that he will be adding to this list. Much like Truex being alone on an island at 3, Kyle Busch is alone on an island at 4. Interestingly, he is one of 2 drivers in the field who have won for 2 different teams, of course his first coming with Joe Gibbs Racing at the 2022 Bristol Dirt Race, and then he won 3 races for RCR in 2023 in the first half of the season: Fontana, the first Talladega race, and Gateway. He came close a couple times last year, of course the second Darlington race and Atlanta, so hopefully he can get to 5 this year. 2 drivers are at 5 wins, and the first one is Chris Buescher in the 17. His first win in the Gen 7 car came at the Bristol Night Race in 2022, before going 3 for 5 to end the regular season in 2023, winning at Richmond, Michigan, and then Daytona. He added a win last season at Watkins Glen. Buescher's a solid driver, I'm sure he'll add to this total this season. The other driver at 5 is Ross Chastain in the number 1. 2 wins in 2022, the first coming at Circuit of the Americas, which was the first win for Trackhouse Racing. He added that up with a win at the Spring Talladega race. He won twice in 2023, the Nashville race, and then the season finale at Phoenix, finishing ahead of champion Ryan Blaney. He added a win last season at the Fall Kansas race. Flip the number 9 upside down, and that's how many wins Chase Elliott has in the Gen 7 car: 6. 5 of those wins came in the debut season for the Gen 7 car 2022, with wins at Dover, Nashville, the second Atlanta race, Pocono, and then the second Talladega race. He was lights out. Didn't win anything in 2023, but he missed some time with his snowboarding injury before returning to victory lane at Texas last season. Joining him at 6 wins is his buddy Ryan Blaney in the 12 car. Blaney did not manage to win in the debut season of 2022, but added 3 wins in 2023 and 3 in 2024. He won at Charlotte, the second Talladega race, and the second Martinsville race, on way to winning the 2023 championship, and added wins at Iowa, Pocono, and again winning the fall Martinsville race to go back to the championship for last season. I don't see any reason why Blaney can't win another 3 this year. He's got off to a good start, leading the points after 2 races. No driver has won 7 races in the Gen 7 car, so we gotta jump to 8 where Tyler Reddick sits. He is the other driver besides Kyle Busch to win with 2 different teams in the Gen 7 car. 3 wins with Richard Childress Racing in the 8 car in his breakout 2022 season. Those came at Road America, the Indianapolis Road Course, and at Texas. He moved over to 2311 in 2023, winning twice at Circuit of the Americas and the second Kansas race. Reddick added 3 wins last year: Talladega, Michigan, and Homestead. Again, another guy I could see winning 3 races this year. Beside him at number 8 is his team owner, Denny Hamlin. Pretty even split on these ones for Denny. 2 wins in the 2022 season, the first Richmond race and the Coke 600. Followed that up with 3 wins in 2023. Kansas, Pocono, and Bristol. He went back-to-back at Bristol, winning the spring race in 2024, and then added wins at Richmond and Dover. He's been one of the best in the Gen 7 car, don't see a reason why he doesn't get a couple more this season. Last week's winner, Christopher Bell, is 1 race ahead of those guys with 9. 3 wins in the 2022 season, coming at New Hampshire, the Charlotte Roval, and the second Martinsville race, before adding 2 in 2023, the Bristol Dirt Race and Homestead. Bell won 3 races last year, the first Phoenix race, the Coke 600, and another at New Hampshire, of course winning last week at Atlanta for his 9th win in the Gen 7 car. Beside him is the guy who has won 2 of the 3 championships in the Gen 7 car, in Joey Logano. For those who don't believe even year Logano is a thing, take a look at this. 4 wins in 2022, 1 win in 2023, and then 4 wins in 2024. His wins in 2022 came at the Darlington Spring Race, Gateway, the second Vegas race, and of course the championship race at Phoenix. Only managed one win in 2023, the Atlanta Spring Race, before winning 4 times in 2024 at Nashville, the second Atlanta race, the second Las Vegas race, and of course the championship finale at Phoenix. It's an odd year, so I guess he can only win one race this year, getting his total to 10. We have to jump a couple levels for our next driver here, William Byron, as there are no 10 or 11 time winners in the Gen 7 car. We gotta go to 12. Byron's total of 12 includes 2 Daytona 500s, of course the last 2. He won 2 races in 2022, the Spring Atlanta race and the first Martinsville race. He led the series with 6 wins in 2023, coming at Las Vegas, Phoenix, Darlington, Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Texas, but didn't get a chip out of it. He won 3 times last year, of course the Daytona 500, Circuit of the Americas, and Martinsville, so a couple wins early in the season, and then of course he opened up this year with the 2025 Daytona 500. Going to be interesting to see if he can catch this next guy on our list throughout this season. Our top dog, of course, is none other than Kyle Larson in the 5 car. He has 13 wins in the Gen 7 car spread amongst all 3 seasons. 3 wins in 2022 coming at Fontana, Watkins Glen, and Homestead, before adding 4 wins in 2023. The first Richmond race, Spring Martinsville, Darlington, and Las Vegas. He went back-to-back at Las Vegas to start the 2024 season, adding wins at Kansas, Sonoma, the first race back on the Indianapolis Oval, the Bristol Night Race, and of course the Charlotte Roval. Going to be interesting to see if he is the first driver who can hit 15 wins in the Gen 7 car. Who do you think has a good chance to move up this list, or someone not on it that will be on here soon? Thanks for watching.